Hi everybody, today we're going to make a woodland gnome together. This is what he looks like. A few things we're going to need is some cedar, we're going to need some oasis, and a water source. So you can start soaking your oasis now. Just drop it in the water, and when it sinks it's fully saturated and it's ready to rock. I'll just put him down for a sec because I have a lot of supplies here. So we're going to need a pot, we're going to need some cedar, we're going to need oasis, which is soaking. We're going to need some like furry ribbon. That gnome had a brown beard. This one I'm going to make with a white beard. I just thought it was nice and wintry. We don't have any snow yet, but it's time. And we're going to need some burlap. A few tools we're going to need is some clippers, some scissors, glue gun, and glue sticks. I like to use these fence pins to put the moss on with, but if you don't have fence pins, you can use regular wire, or another backup, I like to use the little wire that you put the balls on the Christmas tree with. Those work really well too. I'll show you that as we go. And some decorations like stones, some extra greenery and flowers, maybe some sticks. I have some polished rocks I like to put in there. And I think that's about it. The main thing is oasis. You're gonna need a pot, the tools, the cedar, some ribbon, burlap, and away we go. I'll put it in the notes what you're gonna need. So first thing you're gonna wanna do is soak your oasis, because that takes a little bit of time. Plug in your glue gun, so we're gonna use that first. And we're gonna measure how big we want our beard. I want mine about that big. Just so it covers the front of the pot. These guys are so cute. And then all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the beard into kind of like a rounded V. You could fluff it out after too. So this guy, the mechanics of him is kind of like making a Grinch tree or a Whoville tree, but there's a lot of little added on decorations, right? So let's get to it. Okay. So mine's cut out in a V, it's measured to my pot. If you did order a kit, I'll have all the supplies ready for you. You just have to put it together. I have a couple people here in Alberta that can't make my class, so I'm making them kits, and that's why I'm doing this video. And then I have actually a lady in California that requested a YouTube video how to make it. So hi guys, let's make this together still, even if we're not in person. Okay, so that's my beard. And I'm gonna fluff it out a little bit. You can fix it after too if it's not absolutely perfect. And then we're gonna grab our burlap. You don't need a lot of it, but I'd like about 2 squares of it. So if this is a square, I would double that. Just because of all the holes on it, you don't want to see the stuffing through it. I'm just gonna personally use paper towel. So if you have some paper towel or toilet paper or real stuffing would be good too. Just something to make that nose nice and fluffy. Scrunch it up. And then you're gonna roll it in your burlap. And if you have some string or something ready, it's kind of easier if you roll it into a nose and then pull it back. Feel free to pause at any time. Again, I'll list the supplies off in the notes there. Just because I feel like this one has a lot of supplies. But again, if you had the kit, your nose would be all ready for you. Your beard would be ready. So I'm just tying it around to get it closed in a nice tight knot. And then I'm gonna cut off the excess burlap just so it can fit nice and flush to the beard. So that's what that looks like with the stuffing in it. This is his nose. Okay. Then I'm just gonna get some glue on it. Nice and glued, be careful. As you guys know, I always burn myself. Okay, and then just hold his nose in place. You can add a little more glue just to make it extra stuck if it seems like it needs it. Hopefully my music's not too loud. I'm right by the player, so. Okay, I'm just going to place this vase of stars in front of it just to hold his nose in place until it dries. We don't want his nose falling off. Okay, and I'm gonna wipe all my stuff onto the floor because this is how we roll. And we're gonna check on our oasis here. So this one that I just put in is halfway soaked, so you could flip it if you don't have enough water, or if it's in your sink, then it would be probably ready by now too. But this guy's soaked. So you're gonna measure how much you need. I think it's about 2 bricks. So it's 1 brick, but on the bricks there's 3 slices, so that would be 2. So I'm gonna put that in. Nice and tight in there. Maybe we'll put another little piece beside it too, so it's nice and snug. Okay. Hopefully the noses are all nice and strong. I feel like mine is. Ha! He's getting his own little personality already. Okay, let's do this. So I'm actually allergic to cedar. The amount that I use is crazy in the holiday season, so I always just wear gloves to protect my hands. They're already a little bit ratched up, but if you feel like you're getting a little bit itchy, typically you can wash your hands, put on a good cream, and it'll go away, but I'll be using it all day long every day until Christmas, so I just like to wear some gloves. So it slows me down a little bit, but I don't like being itchy at night, so I'm just gonna put these guys on. Okay. We also need moss, so that'll be in your kit as well. So you don't have to get the fresh stuff like I did. This stuff is from Maple Ridge, BC, but you can use the dried stuff as well. Okay, so you're gonna get your cedar, and you're gonna open your bundle if it was a kit for me. If not, just get your pieces ready. And you're gonna see how tall you want it in your pot. Typically we give them a fresh cut every time we're popping it in. So your longest strong piece, you're gonna go right in the middle, kind of like a Grinch tree or a Whoville tree. And then you're gonna do that again, a nice strong one in the middle. Doesn't have to be right beside each other. Move it back a bit so you guys can see. And then another one behind it. So this is what's gonna give his hat its height. And now, so this is what he looks like. It's just right in the middle. Now these other longer ones, you're gonna wanna cut them almost in half, because this is what's gonna give it its like width around the bottom. And you're gonna go right to the edge of the pot. So with the Grinch tree, you keep it in the middle, but the gnomes and the Whoville trees, which are different, they're a little more sleek, a little more right to the edge of the pot. Those pieces, a little bit smaller, right to the edge of the pot. It's okay if there's a little bit of space in between the cedar branches. You just wanna mainly get it right to the edge of the pot. And some of them are gonna be floppier, but then that's when our wire will come in handy, because we're gonna tie it all up. So pop it in right to the edge of the pot. So I find these gnomes take a little bit more greens if you're used to doing our classes like with centerpieces and Grinch trees and such. So use it all up. Just fill it right to the edge. You don't want to see any of that oasis. And then you can trim it after too if you need to. I'm just gonna turn the music down just a hair. I don't know what it sounds like on the camera. Okay, so I physically used every piece of cedar I have right to the edge of the pot. I just have to stress that you can have holes in the middle. It's just for the height, but all the width is gonna be on the bottom. Okay, so the trickiest part of this design is the wire. So normally you need a couple arms lengths. I'm gonna do extra, so even like 3 arms length. Because the worst part about using this small wire is if you lose it, or if it breaks, or if you don't have enough. So then you have to tie it to itself or start again, and that's no fun. Okay, so we have lots and lots and lots of this thin wire right at the base of our gnome. We are gonna tie it in a knot. And tie it nice and tight, but not too tight, because this wire will break if you tie it too tight. So I have a little knot right under there with a tail. So this little piece, we're gonna tie it back to that if I can get it back down. So, and with your hands, and this is why it's important for me to wear gloves, because we're all up in it. Pull it back a bit so you can see. I got a new camera holder, so I'm hoping it works out good for us. I haven't done a YouTube video in a long time. I mainly am more on like the shorts or the Instagram reels. Okay, so you're gonna grab your wire. You could probably also use like twine or a different kind of wire, but even a ribbon probably, but this one to me seems to hold tight. And with one hand you're gonna hold the top of his hat. The other hand you're going to wrap it. So this is, again, awkward, especially when you have this long of a wire. Just take your time. I'm just going a little bit faster, only because I don't have a lot of room on my phone actually, and I don't want to make you guys watch it for an hour. And you're gonna wrap it up. Give his hat the shape. It's okay if it's not perfect. Like I said, we can move it and trim it after. Like this side to me looks a little messy. And this one is going up higher because I want his hat nice and standing tall. Now if it was a Grinch tree, you'd start to knock it over. It's not, I'll stop talking about it, but I do have a video on this channel, a real fun one to follow. And then you're gonna go back down. So now would be the time, if you notice that there is a spot that doesn't have cedar, or if he's shaped kind of weird, I'm gonna just put this guy, something on my wire so I don't lose it, and kind of manipulate it a little bit. But yeah, anywhere you'd want to trim, you could do that now just to get it all the way to the outside of the pot. I just don't want to see the foam. Maybe this long one can come off. And then you're gonna wrap all the way back down and give you that shape you want. So now is the time. I'm doing this backwards, so I'm watching it in the camera, so it might not be as perfect if I was facing it, but take your time, wrap your wire all the way back down to that tail. And as you're going, just kind of try to get those little pieces of cedar tucked in. So what I'm doing is I'm like lifting them up so they're all tucked in as his hat. And the ones that aren't, I will snip off after. Don't be afraid to maneuver it a little bit. Like I was quite forceful with that. I was just giving him a little movement there. Get him over where I want him. Okay, and then what I'm doing now is I'm literally just tying my wire back into a knot where I first started. If you lost that tail where you started, you can just tuck it into the wire a few times just so it's nice and strong. Okay, so now we have his hat. Again, you can bend it, get it going where you want it to go, make it look nice and straight. This guy is hanging out here, so I'm just gonna give him a little snip. Be careful not to cut your wire. It's okay if you like it like kind of hanging out too, a little bit more rustic, a little more messy, that's pretty too. It just depends on your style and what you're going for with your woodland gnome. Okay, so he already looks like a gnome. Maybe this piece up here too. Okay, we could perfect him at the end. Again, I'm just gonna wipe everything onto the floor again. And we are gonna grab some moss. This is a brand new fresh bag. Smells nice and earthy. And we're gonna grab some out. We'll grab our fence pins, or whichever pins we're gonna use. I'm going to also show you. So if we were using the hook to hang a Christmas ball on the tree with, we're just gonna open it all the way and then turn it into a U. So that's what's gonna hold your moss in place. So right here, we're just gonna grab little pieces of moss and we're gonna kind of tuck them in around the nose and the beard. And to hang on to it, we're gonna use these little pins. Get it right in there. And if you wanted to use these guys, you're gonna do the same thing. Tuck it in. You don't wanna see the edge of the pot or the oasis. And then just poke it into that foam down there. And we're gonna do that all the way around the lip of the pot. You probably don't even need the moss pins. It's just nice to look finished and sturdy. So all the way around. Now it's the garnishing part. We're gonna make him look so cool. And these guys last months, so you're gonna wanna water them every couple days, maybe about a 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup, depending how hot your house is. And yeah, they're gonna last a really long time. So he's pretty cool. And he doesn't have to be just around for December. Like up here, we have winter for a long time. Just grabbing a little more moss. So in your kit, this will be all measured out for you in a little baggie. Okay. Okay, so with that, we also have these wooden sticks that we use for a lot of things. With them, they come with a little wire on them. So if you have little pine cones or something you want to garnish it with, what we do is we just hold it beside it and we wrap it around their neck or their waist. And then all you're gonna do is you're gonna poke your little pine cones in all the way. Just add a little bit of texture, a little bit of more woodland theme. Got a different kind of pine cone. You can use big pine cones. If you have like little cute mushrooms, would be super cute. And just poke them right in. And then we're gonna go to, because this is floral design, I really like to incorporate at least one flower in our winter fun classes, like all the trees. I have some eucalyptus, but we'll start with the flower. So I got a carnation because he lasts a long time too. It's beautiful. This one's like a peachy, almost white one. And you're gonna cut him kind of short. And I'm gonna tuck him in. I'm gonna tuck him in just right over beside his nose a little bit, just to be like a little flower right there. You can put him wherever you want, but I like to keep it all kind of down by his face. And then if you have little pieces of eucalyptus, you can poke them in. This one's seeded eucalyptus, super pretty. Just kind of accenting like the base of it. So his hat's gonna make you look up, but now all of the pretty florals and greenery is gonna make it your eye go down. I also grabbed some baby's breath this time. It wasn't in my last one that I had made, but it might look really pretty just to accent the other side. It's kind of rustic looking. Maybe another piece of eucalyptus. Okay, so let me show you that. So when you're working with eucalyptus, if it's like a long branch, when you're poking it in the foam, you're gonna wanna take the bottom leaves off so you have a nice stem to poke in. It's really hard to get in there when you have the little leaves there. So this is him so far. He's almost done. But this is where you can get really creative. So if there's something around your house that you really wanna use, like I'm gonna put this polished stone in, We have a local man here that collects really pretty stones and polishes them up for us, and then we have a lot of other cool crystals and stuff we could choose from. But if there's something around your house, we just want to think of the elements that's in the forest. So we have the greenery, we have the moss, we have the stones and the pine cones. So we're loving him. I'm just gonna poke that other eucalyptus that I had gotten ready. You can use bigger pine cones. And you can forage these yourself in your backyard or go on a walk. We like to take my dog Mickey, and him and I'll go get pine cones. We buy a lot of pine cones, but it's really cool if we could get some locally too. So now it's just kind of you are embellishing your design, making it nice and beautiful. Mine is pretty much done. I just wanted to see if there was anything else I had, because I feel like, oh, I would like to show you these cool stars too. I think I'm gonna put them in my kits. So it's like a little foam star. I'm gonna cut the top off, and I'm gonna get a stick. If you have a piece of your cedar left over, you can poke it in there, but in the kit, I'll put one of these in. And you're just gonna put the stick in the star. I'm gonna wrap that extra wire up, and I'm gonna see where I wanna put it. I'm gonna put it up a little bit higher, or maybe even his hat a little bit. The thing is no two gnomes are ever gonna be the same. We all have the same supplies, but it depends on what you're feeling and what you're thinking. Okay. So there is your woodland gnome. A little bit magical, a little bit fun. So make it your own. You can fluff out his beard more. His nose doesn't have to be that big, but he's kind of cool. You could put eyes on him or arms on him, but this is him. And I'll show you my other one that I had made the other day with the brown beard. So if you did want a kit, just let me know what color of beard you want to. This guy's hat's a little bit shorter, but that's okay. And this is the new guy. The brown beard, the white beard. Thanks guys, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out in the comments, or if you're from around here, just give me a call. If you would like a kit, let me know and I will get that ready for you. And other than that, I hope you all have a wonderful day and enjoy making your woodland gnome. Thanks guys, bye-bye.